Got it.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Noon with Natalie. It's been a small bit since we've had an episode, but I am so excited. I think I say this every time that I have somebody on, but every person that comes on the show, I'm so happy to have. And today I have the beautiful and talented Jessica Jones. She is the CEO of Breathing Light Wellness Coaching. She is here to empower women to desire meaningful transformation in their marriage. Ooh, that is so juicy because gosh knows that marriage is not always easy. And she wants to cultivate a positive relationship with themselves. And she has some key things that she focuses on. We're going to touch on those. That's the serious stuff. And the light side of Jessica is that she is a gypsy soul and she craves change and adventure. And her soul doesn't settle. She's passionate. She's a mom of 3 beautiful children, married to a wonderful gentleman named Brian. Jessica, welcome to Noon with Natalie.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
I know we're a little bit glitchy right now, but we're just going to go with it. I'm sure that it'll all settle in. So you fell into this, this industry of coaching. Now, how did you get to focusing on marriage?
It was like the layers of the onion, right? So we always kind of start with what we think is the root of what's going on. So what happened is I wasn't taking very good care of myself.
Okay.
And I had 3 young children and our marriage started becoming like 2 ships in the night.
Mm-hmm.
I started noticing habits within myself. But at first, I was blaming my husband for not always filling my cup. And then there was awareness of, like I'm depending on him a lot to be all that I need and fill my cup and some. And it was that awareness of, health issues were starting to arise and I wasn't taking care of myself. I wanted permission or something from my husband to say, oh yeah, babe, go take care of yourself. Go do that. I wanted the permission. I didn't want to have to be like, oh, I want to go do XYZ. I wanted permission. It felt weird, like taking a stance for what I wanted. And for so long, I blamed any of the hairy stuff that was going on in our marriage on him.
Yeah.
I did not put the spotlight on me at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so through having this health crisis, which I was, diagnosed with an autoimmune disease and adrenal fatigue, which is where you're living in a stressed out state constantly. You can't get out of it. You don't know how to. Your body hasn't been trained to yet. And as I started taking those little steps to take care of myself, the awareness continued to started to emerge of, gosh, like my habits, and how they're playing into my marriage. And
Absolutely.
when I started taking care of myself, when I started realizing my tics and triggers, it started to change everything. Now, of course, marriage is 2 people, right? You can't tango by yourself.
You cannot. So you have like 3 or 4 pillars. So your first pillar is the awareness piece.
Absolutely. Awareness for sure. We are so accustomed to our own habits that we don't even see them. We don't feel them. We aren't aware of them. And, that's where the magic happens.
And being at cause for your choices is a big one. And I know that we've learned that through some coaching we've done together, but being aware of our own choices is definitely, and I know that even for myself, I have been very guilty of that permission piece. And I know my husband had said to me, you don't have to ask, you just, whatever you need to do it. And sometimes it's not out of permission, but out of, I feel like sometimes it's out of consideration. That's where I feel like it's coming from. I don't know that I ever felt like I needed permission to do it, but that sense of, of like, is this like, does this work for you in terms of like scheduling or whatever?
Yeah.
But I could see how that could be an issue. So
Mhm.
once you're aware, then what is the next step, or what is the thing that for you is key when you work with clients?
Is taking ownership.
Okay.
Ownership is key. So now you have the awareness and now it's owning it, saying, crap, I've done a little damage here. How do I repair it? How do I repair myself? How do I repair what's gone on between my husband and I? So yeah, just really taking ownership of what's going on.
Mhm. You know, my husband and I met later on in life, meaning, we sort of lived that piece of our life that we needed to live, met in our late 30s. And I think that makes us better partners. And that's my personal opinion, because I
Mhm.
think a lot of the stuff that, in your 20s, that you're still in a phase of learning. You're still in that sort of, you don't know who you are, what you want. Maybe we think we know who we are and what we want, but I don't know if that's really true. And I think back to friends who got married very early and had children very early. A lot of them are not together anymore. Very few of them. Very
And
few
I
of them.
can see that because I mean, I got married at, 26.
Hmm.
Our brains don't even stop developing until 26.
Yeah.
And so we have so much more to learn about ourselves. And I think that's what happens is between, 26 and 36, you realize a whole lot of stuff about yourself. And
Yes.
that can cause this in a relationship because you're both growing, but you
Yeah.
can grow and grow together at the same time, even though you're you're blooming into something more. You're really coming into yourself. It doesn't have
Yeah.
to be an all and all be all. There can be growth together as well versus growing apart because there's always, that happens as well.
100%. Now, part of what I've done in the past, in my past careers, I've been a communications coach, still, help with public speaking. And I know that that piece for us is really key. And we have some key sentences that we use when we need to communicate something, when we need the other person to listen. One of the things I learned early on in our relationship from my husband was there were 3 times that I wasn't allowed to share important information. When he was waking up, when he was going to sleep, and if he was playing video games. Those 3 times I was not allowed to share important information. And it was a really important one for me to learn because my brain is sort of like almost like squirrelish, like, oh, this comes up and let me tell you.
Yeah.
So how do you handle that piece with clients? Like, how does that come into the mix?
Communication is key. And
Yeah.
I always communicated, but I communicated in a way that wasn't constructive and caused a lot of
Yeah.
resentment between my
Yeah.
husband and I. And so I've learned as well, we don't speak real late at night. We're both too tired. I guess,
Oh, that's
sometimes
good. Yeah.
we don't do it. We try to do something during the day, over
Okay.
even sometimes a glass of wine to kind of just take the edge off. And one of the biggest things, and I learned it actually through my certification, is getting curious. So I always used to approach him with, you need to do this, you need to change this, you. And there's the wall. He's no longer
Mm,
listening. He's in defense mode and he really doesn't care what I say. He's just got his boxing gloves on.
yeah.
But when I started showing interest in what he's thinking and what he's feeling, even if I didn't agree, is just letting him speak. And over time, that created trust that I wasn't going to start pointing the finger and that I had a kind way to approach it now. And she's consistently doing that. And that helped him also take ownership of the situation and seeing how his reactivity was playing into it. So by me owning up, showing him curiosity, love, and warmth, even when I didn't want to, because believe me, there's times.
I love it. Yes.
Not all peaches and cream.
It is not
Um,
rainbows and Skittles, as you say.
so that was the biggest thing,
Yeah.
communication, being curious. And when he would say something that would trigger me, maybe it triggered insecurity, maybe it triggered anger, is to know that that is my emotion and not from him.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
awareness, again, coming back into play and kind of cutting off the emotion with that and saying, okay, like, yes, I'm feeling angry. Yes, I'm acknowledging that, but that's not because he's doing something right now. It's because I've been triggered by my own
Well,
stuff.
it's like, it's a little bit like self-sabotage, right? And I know that I have been guilty in past relationships of that. Like things are going so well and everything is going so well that something must be going wrong. And then you just like pick. And I want to say with age and wisdom, you sort of learn that, and there was one line that I learned from somebody many years ago, like it doesn't belong to you. Like I have to deal with this emotion or feeling or whatever. And let's be honest, emotions are a huge part of our everyday. I mean, and we can have roller coasters. And I'm, now confident, and he is now, and we both trust each other to say, you know what, I just I just need some time. Like I just need to work through this. I just need to be sad, let the sadness roll through me, and I'll be fine.
Mm.
And I don't know if your husband or the, husbands that are in your network, my husband's like a fixer. He wants to fix everything because, it's like the man role to, and I said,
Yes.
you can't fix this. This is just me feeling. And it's okay to feel. And I think that's part of it, is that we are told for so long, for so many years, that, push it down, right? Push it
Mhm.
down. So I'm grateful that, we've sort of learned that, we've kind of journeyed through all that. And it hasn't always been, like you say, peaches and cream. It's not always been easy, but I think that's part of working through it. And so grateful for the time. So just, I want to make sure awareness, you said, was the first one. And then the second one was owning it.
Mhm.
And then the communication and the emotions. So they all sort of, they
Absolutely, and creating those
cycle
boundaries, those
the
healthy boundaries
boundaries.
for yourself.
Yes.
So in the beginning, it was me creating those boundaries to take care of my health
Yes.
without feeling guilty or feeling like I'm burdening someone or taking extra space somehow. I mean, sometimes I think as women, we feel like if we ask for anything more than the
Yeah.
schedule, we're somehow burdening somebody or, and I think that was a big realization, is creating those boundaries without feeling guilt. I mean, it took time, it
Mm,
took, awareness to realize, oh my gosh, I feel really awkward when I set boundaries or I say I'm doing something.
yeah.
And hey, I'm going to work out, but that workout time would be, you know, the only time with the kids in the evening. And then I feel guilty. And then I would talk myself out of it. Oh, you should really just spend time with your kids. They're not going to be this age forever, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so setting
Oh,
those boundaries is that next step to, your relationship with yourself, really having that powerful transformation from within.
yeah. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's true. When you take care of yourself, then you are more available for the others, the other people in your family. Okay.
100%.
So what is your top, like, the audience is watching now, they're wondering, they're thinking, okay, how can I maybe do that one thing today that will help my marriage? Do you have like your top thing, top tip that you can share with us?
I would say bring awareness on how you
Hmm.
talk to each other.
Okay.
I think that was like the one of the biggest like special sauces to really having success with creating warmth within our relationship. Because sometimes we don't even realize we're talking to our spouse with an attitude because we get comfortable. They're always there, and we have a
Yes.
little in our voice, It's like, well, why did you put that over there? And it's like, ooh, that probably didn't sound very nice,
Yeah.
and you don't even realize you're saying it. It's just like comes
Yeah.
out. So it's really, really watching your words, your tone. Is it warm or is it criticizing and
Yeah.
judgy? I would say that is the cherry
Top
on top.
one. So if anybody wants to reach out to you, what is the best way to get in touch with you?
You can definitely email me. It's
Okay.
breathinglife.coaching at
Yeah.
Gmail.
Yeah.
Or you can text or call 919-323-7318. Those are great options. And I also
Okay.
have an amazing Facebook group, Empower Yourself, Empower Your Marriage. That is a private group for women that just want support and community, going through all of this.
Awesome. I'm going to put that all in the bio below, so anybody will be able to get that info if they need and want to reach out to you. So thanks so much for being here today and sharing your expertise, your zone of genius, because marriage can be a challenge, even for, the good marriages. It's not even just about a marriage that's ending or maybe a little bit rocky. It can be that you just want to improve on what you have. So Jessica Jones, CEO of Breathing Light Wellness Coaching. Thanks so much. Again, my name's Natalie. I own Master Authentic Voice, speaking and presentation skills coach. So if you're looking for support in that area of your life, make sure you reach out to me at nataliemayotte.com. I will happily give you a hand with that. Whatever you choose to do today, have an incredible day, folks, and I'll see you next time on Noon with Natalie. Bye, Jess.